What is up guys, it's Daniel here, but most of you guys know me as Striker Danny FTW. In this video, from the title, obviously going to be talking about reptiles during the winter. We'll start off inside, then we'll go to the outside. Outside I've got my lizards, got two blue tongues out there, got a albino and a regular eastern blue tongue, got a central bearded dragon, and I've got a shingleback skink. Inside I've got my two snakes, as you can see here's one, which is just Crystal, my diamond carpet python. Got Striker, my blonde spotted python, got Sunshine, my short neck or Mari river turtle, and you've also got Toothless, my hypermelanistic blue tongue. We'll talk about all that, but we'll start off with my diamond python. With the winter coming, she's obviously slowed down eating. I've slowed down the heat and all that, the light. I just got the light on for show, it's never really on. But the heat mat's on most of the time at the moment, just to make sure she does keep warm, because there's not really spots she can burrow in an enclosure like this, unless I make the substrate really high. I was thinking of putting the heat mat behind here, so it's like a dark spot. Haven't got to it yet though. As you can see, she's dug up her heat mat a bit. It's not really a hot heat mat. I've checked it, she's not getting burnt. If she was, she'd be getting it changed in the ASAP. But here's Crystal. I'll swap the camera around. Here she is. I'll get this off her. She's also in shed too. She's having her first ever patchy shed, which kind of annoys me. As you can see here, she's having a patchy shed there. So that kind of annoys me, but what can you do? So here's Crystal, all of her pride and joy. So she hasn't eaten in about 3 months, coming up to 4. So she stopped pretty early. So I'm assuming she might want to come back to eating early. I still try to feed her every couple of weeks, a rabbit, but she never takes it, so what can you do? She's obviously gone to the stage where she just wants to sleep, because she always chills in this spot too. As you can see, here's more of the patch from her shed. If you want more on her enclosure, just let me know. Her enclosure here, if I can focus, will be nice. It's just a 4-foot URS reptile enclosure with a universal rock background. You've got your branch straight across. In here, just spare supplies, etc, etc. Yeah, that's her. All the info with the winter. She's slowed down feeding, the heat mat's on because it's a little bit colder in here. So she's pretty easy. Now, we will move on to the actual reptile room, where I've got in here 3 more animals that we'll talk about. We'll start off with good old Sunshine. So Sunshine, nothing's really changed, because it's always warm in here. She always eats every day. For the whole time I've had her, she's never really slowed down. So I don't know if people have slowed down with that stuff with turtles. I'm pretty sure out in the wild they slow down because the temperature drops and all that, so they will go into a brumation/hibernation stage. But for me, she's always hungry. Never changes during winter, so I guess she doesn't go through that phase. So she's pretty good. Nothing much said on her. Her enclosure's just the 4-foot custom-made aquarium. Got your custom rock wall on the back. Got your little ledge there she can get out of. She's next for an upgrade too. I'm looking for a spa to, pick up and build out of that, because I'm going to try and put her outside. So that's always fun. Just got her filter and all that in here, etc, etc. Move on to the next animal. And for some reason that's a really dull UVB bulb. I haven't seen that in a while. Let's see if I can turn the heat bulb on. Where are you? I've got so many cables hanging out the side here. It's not even funny. Put that paperwork up there. Where is it? Just down here. There we go. So in here is Striker. He is my male blonde spotted python. He's currently on his heat mat too. So again, with winter coming along, it's obviously cooled down quite a bit. The garage gets pretty cold. He's got his cold side hide here, which he chills on quite a bit. And then you got his warm side hide, which he's currently on, just chilling under there. There he is there, currently curled up in a ball, staying warm. Nothing much to it. He hasn't fed in just the same amount of time as Crystal, a couple months now. So yeah, snakes pretty easy when it comes to the winter stage. Honestly, just don't bother them. Well, I still pick them up every now and then, but with the maintenance, it obviously drops quite a bit because they're never eating and they're always just chilling in their hide, stay still kind of thing. Still come out for a drink every now and then. I still try to feed Striker as well, but obviously they don't want it. But yeah, enough with the snakes, we'll move on to the lizards. In here is Toothless, my female, hopefully female, I've been told it's a female, so that's all good. The little annoyed hypermelanistic, as you can see she's getting a bit bigger, thank God for that. I wanted to be a really chunky girl, but as you can see I've woken her up from her sleep. So the reason why she's inside, I'll move the camera for a sec just so I can get some good lighting for you guys. Here she is. So the reason why she's inside and the other blueies aren't is because it's her first year, so I'd keep her inside until she's a little bit bigger, and then she'll be going outside with the rest of them. Obviously just checking maintenance and all that, same as the rest. I'll talk a little bit more about the outside blueies when I'm out there. This is her. I'll just put her here so she can warm a bit. I still feed this girl every 2 days just to make sure she has all the food in her so she can be nice and fat. As you can see, she is pretty fat. So that's just blue tongue pella. It's got dog food there. That's due for a change because she's obviously finished it and it's dried up. Had some vegetables there too for her. But yeah, she's going good. In here I try to keep the heat globe on during the day just so she stays warm. During the night it's pretty chill in here, not too cold. If it was a little cold, I'd bring her inside just because I have a little bit more maintenance on her just because she is still young, just so she has the best health I can give her. But yeah, she's a beautiful animal. I'm currently obsessed with the hypermelanistics. I also love looking at the hypermelanistic alligators as well. They're amazing. I wish I could get them over here in Australia. What can you do? But yeah, so food slows down a little bit here. Usually I'd feed her, when I first got her, I was feeding her twice a day actually, just little bits twice a day because she was just only a few months old when I got her. But now it's gone to the stage where it's cooled down, so she goes every 2 days and she still doesn't eat at all, so obviously she's slowing down as well, but not to the point where she's stopped eating and starting to brumate / hibernate. And now that's it for the reptile room. That's all them. Now we'll move outside where it's currently nice and sunny. So outside here I've got 2 tanks. This houses 3 lizards. That one houses usually 2, which is Toothless and the albino, but now it's just housing the albino. If I can get this up, because this is an old enclosure. So you can see the water drops off because sometimes this doesn't catch the water, but the second tarp underneath does. So that's all good. In here houses 3 lizards, and over there houses 1. I'll try and find these 3 lizards for you guys, so I'll open up the entire enclosure. If you guys want to know how to build this enclosure, I've got quite a few videos on it, so just go searching. I'm pretty sure I've got like 3 on this one, 2 on that one. So with the outside, obviously the temperature drops quite a bit out here. Gets to maybe 4 degrees, 3 degrees usually, sometimes a little bit colder, sometimes warmer. Just making sure no one's under here. With the hay boxes, I'll talk about that first before I show you guys the lizards. It's usually for the blue tongue and the shingleback, or blue tongues. So when it gets to that point, I don't want them like figuring out that they can't really burrow, because as you can see underneath this, it's just rubber, so they can't dig out. Sometimes Maximus went under here and burrowed, but it's not as warm as what a same hay box is. What the hay box does is gives the lizards an opportunity to burrow and keep warm, because the hay keeps its temperature pretty well when their body's up against it, but obviously the lizards look like they're not even in it. Yeah, they're not even in it. I know for a fact Maximus, my blue tongue, just the regular eastern, will be under this, because I don't know why, but yeah, there he is there. But yeah, the hay box gives them that extra like bonus of getting there, curling up and keeping warm. Really good thing to do. A lot of breeders use it. Here's Maximus, my gigantic eastern blue tongue skink that I purchased back a few years back from Peter Birch, or you guys know him as Criticam. Beautiful lizard. Couldn't be happier with him. As you can see he's gigantic compared to my foot. And I'm a size 11.5 at the moment. But yeah, he's got a big head, big chunky stomach, big chunky tail. He'd be a good breeder if I ever found a female for him. But yeah, he's just a regular Eastern Queensland locality. You can see he's got his caramel stripes on the side. Beautiful lizard. Keep him out there for a bit. See if I can find my shingleback. So this enclosure just houses the 3 lizards. I've had them for a few years together actually. Oh, a bird was there. Had them here for a few years together and never had a fight. There used to be 4, which had my second bearded dragon Charlie, who sadly passed away a few years back. And here they are together. Here's the couple. You can see down here, you got Bumblebee and Dwayne cuddling up together. It's the first time I've seen it, to be honest. So Bumblebee's here, Central Bearded Dragon, got a bit of shed on his there, and you got Dwayne here, my shingleback skink. So they look pretty comfy, just chilling there, keeping each other warm. I won't disturb them too much, so I'll put this back. Had Dwayne for a few years, had Bumblebee. I've had Bumblebee since maybe 2015 actually, so it's been a while. So yeah, that's them. Again, the hay box keeps them warm and all that. Temperature wise, drops down pretty quickly here when it comes to winter. Feeding wise, I chuck food in there maybe once a week just to make sure there is that food supply, just in case one of them, especially Bumblebee, not really the blue tongue and the shingleback, because I know they stop feeding completely. Bumblebee is not really the best with body fat wise because he's a small lizard. So just for him to have that extra bit of food, he comes out, has it, and goes back to sleep for that extra few days, and then he comes back out every now and then. So the food's always there for him just in case, but for the past few weeks he hasn't been coming out. So as you can see, Maximus is pretty big. Yeah, so that's this enclosure. Now we'll move over to the albino blue tongue. Oh, there's birds everywhere. As you can see, the top catches the water, so it stays dry underneath. Water comes off, lifts up, nice and dry on the inside. If you guys are wondering what this portable guinea pig cage thing is, that was for Toothless, just so she can come out here and grow. But due to the cold weather, she's not out here at the moment. I do bring her out here every now and then. I might actually bring her out later, maybe after this video, just so she can get that heat. If you guys want to know how to build this little portable thing, it cost me literally $0 because I had all the supplies on me. Just look for the video. Same setup with Mr. White or Whitey. Same setup as them, except for it looks a little bit nicer with the fence thing on the side. He's got his hay box here, which he actually uses. Smart. But yeah. So in here will be Whitey, most likely, unless he's decided in the last few days. No, he's in here still. So here's Whitey all curled up, what the bluey shingleback and bearded dragon should be doing. So this is natural behaviour. Him going in here. I'll blow the hay off. So here's Whitey. Beautiful lizard. So he was curled up in the hay there. Hasn't eaten in quite a long time. But he's doing what the blue tongue and the shingleback and all that should be doing, which is in the hay, curling up, keeping warm. I'll put him outside here so he can get that heat. And then I might try and feed him later because he hasn't eaten quite a bit, but he probably won't take it. Be a beautiful lizard. I've had him for a few months now. And I got a comment when I did a video on him earlier, him staying outside. People have told me, like, asked, how come you keep the albino outside? Like, it is, what's the name, like some people think keeping different lizards, like an albino for example, outside in the cold will be a little bit more difficult than a regular eastern, because some easterns are from around here. You got the blotched blue tongue that's located over in Katoomba where it actually snows. So different temperatures for different lizards. I wouldn't keep northerns outside unless you check, like you have your quicker, like your better maintenance kind of thing. You check on them. If it gets a little colder, bring the northerns in. I don't have any northerns here, so I can't say through experience. I'm just saying if I had a northern, I'd bring it in if it got to that colder side. But if it did get, like if it did drop below 4 degrees, I would bring the albino inside, and if it got colder and colder, then I'd obviously bring these guys in, just to be on the safe side. With the albino, he's been outside his whole life, previous breeder had him outside most of his life, so yeah. And where the lizards' cages are located, they get all the sun. The only time they won't get sun is if there's no sun. So the morning sun comes up, they've got the sun, goes all the way over, they've still got sun pretty much the whole day. As you can see, a lot of sun. So yeah, but yeah, if it did get too cold, I would bring Whitey in, and then if it got colder than that, then bring the rest in. Because these guys have been, especially the blue tongue, Bumblebee first 2 years was inside just because I could get him inside. Dwayne first 4 months was inside, then he was out. But Maximus, the blue tongue in here, from day one I had him outside, and look at the size of him, he's beautiful. So here's Whitey going for a stroll. But yeah, having an albino outside should be fine as long as you have your maintenance checks, like just check on them, make sure they don't get sticky mouth and all that. So it's all good. Just to make sure nothing's gone wrong while you're gone. It's always good to just check maintenance wise. Don't pick them up all the time, otherwise they wouldn't get their sleep kind of thing. Just check on them, see if they're all good. And yeah, should be fine. Put him down. Hope you guys found this video useful. Just a run through of all the animals during the winter. Just temperature wise, obviously it drops. Feeding's gonna drop, drinking's gonna drop, their activity's gonna drop. So most of the time, especially if the lizards are outside, they're gonna be acting like Whitey here, curled up, keeping warm. So it's it's preferred to have what I do, which is the hay box. You don't have to do it, it's just what I like to do. Gives them that little bonus to get in there, curl up, keep warm, so they can burrow and then go through the brumation / hibernation stage. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys found this useful. It's just my personal preference kind of thing of how I keep all the lizards outside here during winter, how the snakes, the turtle and the lizard keep warm and all that during the winter inside. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like the video, comment down below if you want any other knowledge in regards to winter, keeping animals and all that. And I'll talk to you all later.